as a member of the community of the east side of Buffalo. For so long, we experienced long periods, I mean decades and decades of disinvestment and redlining, and there were periods of time where these lots that are owned by the city weren't even being maintained by the city.
You know, and just like how the city's been quite negligent with this, they've owned it for well over 10 years and has not done anything to even, you know, like mothball it at least, you know, just make sure it's completely sealed up. They haven't done that. Nothing. They're just letting it rot so that it becomes demo worthy. The purpose of the demo is to make the land shovel ready, because you know the land's more valuable with nothing on it.
So the three pillars of the Community Land Trust campaign are 100% community control of the land, development without displacement, and to maintain a spirit of unity within the FUDO. So the first point is 100% community control. We have seen development run amok in Buffalo, and there are processes by which people are led to believe that the community will have some sort of input, and then are kind of just molded by big money. And I think that a lot of the perception of the public is that these are all privately funded projects, and many of them are not. So there are lots of tax breaks and incentives for development within Buffalo, and that is using our money.
It's one thing to develop in a neighborhood. That's a very good thing, and we've never been against development. Our thing is including us in the process, because we've been factored out. A land trust will give us the opportunity, instead of combating with developers and individuals that may want to purchase property in a fruit belt, it gives us a forum to where we can all come together and reach consensus and compromise in a healthy way.
So a land trust assures the residents that whatever development happens will not displace them. In fact, we look for development to enhance their position. By this being a new ideal in Buffalo, it will take courage, it will take trusting each entity that's involved in moving forward. We want this to be an open, transparent venture by all the stakeholders involved. So therefore, we have to keep a strong agenda in front of our elected officials. We must constantly keep in mind that they work for us and we don't work for them. And they have to hear our voice, our concerns, our desires.
People in my neighborhood still speak to each other. They spend time with each other. I love that about my neighborhood, that it really does have a spirit of unity. And after a whole generation of time that has passed where people kind of lost faith in what could be done to help our community, now the neighbors are coming back out because they see that the community leaders are getting back together and things are happening again that are benefiting our community. And there's that sense of pride that's still there and it's coming back again. There has to be a blend of community-oriented progress that goes with not just what is going to benefit the community financially, but also a respect of what's already been there and what we want to see come in that's going to reflect what's been in the neighborhood. There has to be a collaboration.
You guys see why we need the land trust. We have 200-something lots. Councilman Pridgens was here earlier. He had to leave. But Councilman Pitts is still here, so if you guys want to say hello to him. Our first speaker is going to be India.
Good evening. I'm not going to be. Can everybody hear me okay? All right, great. So my name is India Walton, and I live over here on Lemon Street. My family and I moved here maybe 2 years ago. The house was built in 1920. It had been completely gutted and remodeled by my landlord, who's a great guy. The unfortunate part is that what I knew about the Fruit Belt was that it was a very united community, and that was somewhere where I wanted to be. I wanted for my 4 boys to be able to play outside and have friends and not always be shuffling them off somewhere when it was time to go enjoy the outdoors. So I figured I could find a place around here that was affordable, and with the knowledge that the medical campus was growing and my employer, which is Children's Hospital, was moving right down the road, I felt like the Fruit Belt was a perfect fit for my family. In looking for apartments, I didn't notice that the rents were how they were traditionally, which you used to be able to get a 3-bedroom neighborhood for about $500 or $600. So this 4-bedroom home, which is beautiful, it's been beautifully redone, but it was $1,200. And I thought to myself, wow, I'm a young black woman, a single mother with 4 children, and that story, typically that demographic of person cannot afford a $1,200 a month rent. And I just thought that it was a shame. And as I began to be involved with Community First Alliance and meet some of the people on the Fruit Belt Advisory Council, I really gained another family. And Miss Lott and Miss Barr, Frank and everyone just embraced me and my children, and I felt like I belonged here. And even though I'm okay paying that, I'm not okay with the people that I've grown to love being pushed out of the neighborhood that they loved and built and stayed and invested in when no one else cared. The Community Land Trust is not only about the land, it's not only about making sure that our community maintains its character and charm. This is the historic Fruit Belt neighborhood. This is not the medical campus. This is not the medical corridor. This is the Fruit Belt. This is the belt. And we need to keep it that way. It needs to be diverse. It needs to be inclusive. And this is also an opportunity in this land trust for us to leave a legacy for our children and our grandchildren. We are doing something that has never been done before. We're doing something that we were told could not happen, that we couldn't do it. We already reached our goal before we even set foot in this building. Our goal for tonight. This is just the beginning. This is the kickoff. What we're going to do is we're going to incorporate, we're going to establish an independent nonprofit, and when the developers come to build something in the Fruit Belt, you, and all of us are going to say, you can put this there, but you can't put that there. You can charge this rent, but you can't charge that. And money is going to be reinvested in our community. We're all to the stakeholders. We're going to own this joint. Crime is going to go down. We're going to put people in elected office that's going to do what we tell them to do, because that's what we want. And we're going to make sure that we have a stable, whole, healthy community for our children to live in. So, give generously, buy these 50-50 tickets, enjoy the baskets, and enjoy each other. And thank you so much, everyone, for coming out. Beautiful.
Wow, that was neat. I'd like to introduce Miss Denise Barr from Grape Street.
Thank you so much for everybody coming out, for all the hands that participate, for everybody that supports us, for everybody that rallies with us, for everybody that stands with us. We are so grateful to be here today. And look at this crowd. This is the city of Buffalo. And that's what it's all about for me. I have lived in this community for most of my life, not all of my life, but I was a little kid in this neighborhood. My family's owned my house for 70 years. And I was a little kid on Great Street back in the day when families were in these homes. And the men worked and they had jobs. And Sundays we relaxed and we had Sunday dinner and everybody went to church and all of that. You know, my youngest son is in the back. My kids grew up in this neighborhood playing football out in the streets and doing the things that kids do. You know, it's amazing to me that we are in 2017 and we are still dealing with the myth of how bad the fruit belt is. You know, the violence in the fruit belt and all of that. Well, the funny part to me is that I have neighbors that are aged. These people are old, and in truth, they're more scared of you than you are of them. Believe me. And they have good reason for that. These people are vested in this community. This is a community that had bought property and has maintained property. They have managed to survive without everything that they're supposed to get, even to now. And they flourish. They have been proud in how they keep this community, and I am so proud to be part of the fruit belt. I can't even tell you. I'm so proud to be able to say that my kids are part of the fruit belt. Here we are at this point when these people have worked hard and struggled and they've hung on to their properties. They haven't had help from the government. We've been redlined and red zoned and all the things that come with all of that. And these people are still here. They are still here. They have survived all of it. And now, in their old age, we want to see people come and scoop up land underneath of us and just push us out because they think that they're going to make a quick buck, they're going to rape our community, and then they're going to leave us back with nothing again. That's not going to work. Right. And so I'm the community person. And for those of you that work with me, for those of you that stand with me, for those of you that rally with me, if you know me, then you know I'm all about this community. I love this community. It is my heart. And I do everything I can, as much as I can, to make sure that we fight for this community. And so as a collaborative, I want everybody to look around and look at the people in this room. Every time we get together, every time we do a rally, every time we make a call and say we need help, I want to see this. I want to see people coming out from not just the fruit belt and not just the west side and not just the east side. Because guess what? This may be starting with us, but this is not going to finish with us. This is something that's going to go around the city. And even though we have to fashion a land trust that's going to work for our community, it's going to come to a neighborhood near you real soon. And just like we need you now, you're going to need us later. That's right. Make sure that we have money to buy these lots so our people don't get pushed out of this community and we get what we're supposed to get, everything we're supposed to get, because after the end of the day, we deserve it. We've worked hard, we've maintained our properties, we've paid our taxes, and we deserve everything that we can get back. These people deserve it. So, I need for everybody to make sure, check out these baskets. I mean, seriously, they're gorgeous. You know, help us. Put some tickets in. If you're not really interested in something, that's fine, but you're supporting us. And then stand with us. Let us know that you really are vested in this, because it's a real hard lift to try to do this with just a few people at the table. We need you. We need all of you. And you're going to need us also later on. So I thank you for your time. You know, give yourselves a round of applause. I'm so grateful for everybody that's
here. That was wonderful, Ms. Barr. We have Mr. Zaid Islam. We have Mr. Zaid Islam from Orchard Community Initiative and a long-time Fruit Belt resident. Let's give him a round of applause.
Good evening, everyone. Before we start, I would like the Fruit Belt leadership to come up to the podium and let their players present something to us. I mean, when I say Fruit Belt leadership, you know who you are. Come on up. Don't have me start calling your name. Let's come on up. If you belong to OCI, Fruit Belt United, Fruit Belt Coalition, Homeowner and Tenant Council, come on up. Come on up. Somebody also like I have the money. This is come on up. Somebody cover. I also want you to see this is the leadership of the Fruit Belt. And we look like you and we work like you. But also we have partners who are the CFA table, which all of us are involved with. We are not going to denounce them. I want that clear. We support the CFA because they support us. And many of the things that are happening wouldn't be happening without their assistance. And I would like those people who are part of the CFA table to stand up so people can see who you are. Please stand up. All right, come on, President, get up. Open up, get up. Come on up. Come on, Bishop. Aaron. I seen Aaron earlier. Oh, he's got the new leader. Okay, we want to tighten this up. Come on, Aaron. We got anybody from Clean Air here? Where? Liz, come on up. Joanna? I know about face. Okay. OB, come on in here. Come on, OB. No. Those days are over. You got to be recognized. Come on. Mr. and Mrs. Green, can you come up? Come on, folks. We want people to recognize people who work in behalf of the residents of the Fruit Belt. Yeah. OCI, Fruit Belt United, Fruit Belt Coalition, who am I forget? Homeowner and Tenant Council. Those are your primaries. There are other groups in the Fruit Belt. However, they don't work as hard as we work. I seen, come on up, brother. Y'all seen this young man I seen? Yeah. I want everyone to know that all the Fruit Belt leadership is a part of the Fruit Belt Advisory Council, which is moving very hard and working with Council President Prison and other dignitaries and other city officials to get something done. And may I have Deb Hayes? They have something to present to us. Where's she? Oh, come on here. This is a hard-working lady. Let me tell you. This lady worked for us so hard on the party initiative with the unions. And she didn't get what she should have got. But this lady worked very hard. She had to get other union people on board with us. That was a fight. So thank you, dear. Okay.
So, I wasn't prepared to speak tonight, and as long as I'm here, I want to share a personal story with you because I learned a very valuable lesson when I was a little girl from a man who lived in the Fruit Belt. My dad worked at American Standard, and his best friend at work was a man named Ken Olden, who lived on Mulberry Street. And Mr. Olden and my dad were the people who taught me that you don't judge people by the color of their skin. I was 5 years old, and we would come to Mulberry Street to see Mr. Olden. We would watch him play ball. He would come to our home in Riverside and visit my dad. And so in our house, there was never a question about people who might look different from us. It all depended on the heart and the inside. And we loved that man. My father loved that man. And a lifelong lesson really was developed from that point on for me and my 5 brothers and sisters. My second connection with the Fruit Belt is I started working at Buffalo General in 1978. And so I have spent many work years on first Buffalo General and then the medical campus. And I know that the medical campus was not always the best neighbors to people who lived in the Fruit Belt. But our commitment moving forward is that we are going to be, from the union's perspective, I work for CWA, that we are going to be good neighbors moving forward. And parking was a small step. I think the work that we're doing now is even more important. And I would just like to present to the advisory board a small check tonight. Hopefully we'll follow that up with a bigger check, but we didn't want to just give lip service. We wanted to be able to support what we were saying with a financial contribution.
As India said, we have already exceeded our goal even before we stepped into this building tonight, and I am just so thrilled, and I want to thank all of you for coming. This, we've been talking about this for over a year, way longer than a year. We have been meeting as a group for 4 years, sometimes 2, 3 meetings a week. I think I've been to about 4 or 5 this week, including a radio interview. Really. So when Zay said that we work very hard, believe me, we work very hard. We know that you're not going to come out to all the meetings, but as India said, when we call you and say, you know what, we need you to come out, we need numbers, because the city needs to see that we have support and we have backing. When they only see a handful of us, that doesn't mean anything. But when Council President Pritchard came in here and he saw this group, his eyes really turned. His eyes really turned. So we need you. And when we say that, please come. I'd like to thank you for this meeting. And thank you very much.
I would be remiss if I didn't find India. Where is India? I just seen her somewhere. Oh, India?
Huh?
Where are you?
I'm sorry.
Oh, she's doing something. That's part of our new leadership.
That's right.
That's part of our new leadership. I want you to know we are putting people in place of us who are younger, because we're getting up there. So we need young, energetic, new ideals from young folk who can show us directions that we can't even imagine. They will continue the job that we have started. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. And in closing, this is so fantastic. We have Council President Pritchard, and there goes my man, the former Council President Jim Pitts, who's a part of the Fruit Belt. And I was hoping if I could get him to give me 5 minutes on this podium. Because he deserves this. This man is the reason why a lot of things are happening. If I remember, he always asked the guy, well, where's the due diligence?
All right.
And for those who don't know their history, you need to check. Go ahead, my brother.
Thank you very much. I have been trying, y'all can go sit down. I
have to go meet my wife. But Elverna, everybody is coming over. They want me to say a few words. I just want to say I'm here tonight because the fruit belt is in my bones. This is where I grew up. And I was telling Brother Zaid that everything I am today started right here in the fruit belt. This used to be Loblaws. This used to be the G and W. Used to have the Five and Dime next door. Used to have the bakery down the street. We didn't have to leave the fruit belt for nothing. If we got hungry, we would raid a cherry tree. If we got hungrier, we'd raid a peach tree. There were grapevines. In fact, we buried 2 of our pigeons down on the corner of Grape and Carlton. So I'm here tonight because I believe in what is happening today. A land trust will not only be an example for the fruit belt, but it will be an example for the city. The east side in particular. And we see what Aaron and others are doing on the lower west side and the west side. But this is the first place. This is the fruit belt and the first ward are 2 of the most historic districts and neighborhoods in the city. And the people who live in these neighborhoods, there's not much difference between the fruit belt and the old first ward. I used to represent the old first ward. And I try to tell people that ain't much difference between those who live in the fruit belt and those who live in the ward. They're all working people. They're family oriented. They love their communities. They love the city. I love the city. I'm here tonight to support you. I've also agreed to work with the trust, to be on the board, to be an advisor. And if you need an old dude to come out and talk some smack, I'm still willing to do that. And can still get down. Just in case some folk think I'm too old, I can still grab you and throw you. So I'm here tonight to tell you, and I think this is a wonderful turnout. The land trust is going to work. We need to put the pressure on the city. We don't need a fake commission, an advisory board, and all that other stuff. We need to have a trust that's controlled by the people. That trust not only needs to maintain the 200 lots, but you also need to own more lots, more houses, and shape and reshape the fruit belt in the image of the people who have been here and who will be here tomorrow. So I'm here tonight to give my support, and thank you for putting up with me for a few minutes.
This is quite an event. I'm looking at, where's Miss Lott? Where do we go from here? Because Sherman? Okay, Sherman.
Okay. How y'all doing? It's a little after 7 now, so we're gonna start wrapping things up. Ooh, can't go that way. My name is Sherman Webb. I work currently for BFNC, and I have had the honor and pleasure of working with the Fruit Belt Coalition and the Community Land Trust, and just this wonderful group of people in this community. They've invited me into their meetings. They've accepted any suggestions that I wanted to put forth, and just have been open, warm, and committed to this community. And so I'm just really blessed and honored to be up here in front of you right now. So if you haven't seen my girl India and got your 50-50 raffle,
I'm sorry, I'm sold out.
Let's make some noise for that, being sold out the 50-50 raffle. All right. We have some more over there in the corner. But wait, there's more. So there's still time to get your 50-50 raffle.
I got plenty of tickets, rolls of them. Don't worry
worry about it. I got rolls of tickets.
Thank you.
Okay. So you want me to gymnastics? Okay. All right, so I'm getting direction too that we have one last call for the basket. So if you haven't had an opportunity to make your contribution to this wonderful movement, now is the time. Can I get some Jeopardy music or something like that? Oh, okay. But we aren't gonna pick them till about 7:30. So go ahead and make your final contributions. We have some wonderful baskets over here on display.
Sorry.
So yeah, we have beautiful lottery trees. So, all right. Okay. So, if you would like to become more involved with this organization, the CFA, the Land Trust, and everything that's going on in the Fruit Belt, please be here. This is the place to be on Wednesdays, okay? This is the place to be on Wednesdays at 5. All right, they meet here Wednesdays at 5. If you want further information to become more involved with what's going on in this movement, this is the place to be, Wednesday at 5. Make sure you holler at Harper. Every Wednesday, let me reiterate, every Wednesday, holler at Harper or my man Asim. Where's Asim at? Over there in the cut. Those are your two contact people if you want more information on how to stay involved with this wonderful organization and movement. All right, so yeah, let's get some more music going. Make sure y'all mingle. We still have some food left. Make sure y'all get some of the food before it all